Is your $2 bill rare? Most people have no idea. In this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know about these rare $2 bills and why you should consider holding on to them. If you don't know who I am, my name is James and I have helped collectors buy and sell millions in rare collectibles. All of the sale prices in this video are backed by real data from top auction houses like Heritage. Without further ado guys, let's hop right into this video with this first 1976 $2 bill. This one sold for $9,600. Now the person you see there on the center of the bill is actually Thomas Jefferson. Now he was not always on the $2 bill. For example, in 1862, the $2 bill featured Alexander Hamilton. Now in 1928, that was the first year of issue for these small size paper money bills that we're all used to seeing today. Before that, these $2 bills were printed on a much larger piece of paper called horse blanket notes. Now you may be asking, why did this $2 bill sell for $9,600? First of all, it was graded by PMG at a 64 EPQ, which means there's not a single fold anywhere on this bill. That's a good tip. Don't fold your bill because you will decrease the value. The big value add here is the fact that it's graded highly with no folds and it is a solid number 1 serial number. So the serial number plays an incredibly important factor on the value of this bill. That is why it sold for $9,600. Now this is a genuine $2 bill from 1918. It sold for $26,450. Now typically this $2 bill would not be worth this much money. What makes this $2 bill so incredibly rare is that it's a double denomination error. So the front is a $2 bill and the back is a $1 bill. This is a huge printing mistake, and jokingly some people will call this a $3 bill. If you come across a rare bill like this, keep it very safe because it's worth a lot of money. I'll tell you exactly what I would do if I was in your shoes with a rare bill like this and you wanted to sell it closer to the end of the video. Once again, $26,450. Now this is kind of cool. So this is what we call a brick of $2 bills. There are 4,000 consecutive examples, which means the serial numbers go in order. So there is a face value of $8,000 and this brick sold for $21,150. Now some banks will get $2 bills in giant bricks just like this directly from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing where they produce paper money. Somehow someone was able to get this giant brick and they sold it for $21,150. $88,125 for this $2 bill. And yes, this red seal legal tender note is 100% genuine. Remember earlier I was saying 1928 was the first year of issue for small size paper money? Well, here you go. This is what the bill looked like. It had a red seal and red serial numbers. What makes this bill so rare and unique is the fact that it is a star note and it is graded very highly from 1928. To be brief, what a star note is during the printing process, if there is a damaged note or an error note, the BEP does not simply destroy the bill. What they do is they replace it with a star note. So a star note is called also a replacement note. This beautiful $2 bill legal tender note sold for $88,125. And yes, technically you can bring this exact bill to a bank and deposit it into your account, or you can pay with it at your local store. But we highly recommend against doing either of those because the face value of $2 is a lot less than the money you could get if you sold it like this person did for $88,125. There's a lot of collector value in a note like this. All right, looking at the back of this bill from 1976, this one sold for $11,750. So when you're looking at the back of a $2 bill, what you're going to see is a scene from July 1st to 2nd of 1776 with Jefferson handing the Declaration to John Hancock, who was president of the Continental Congress at the time. This scene is not the signing itself, but the presentation of the draft, essentially a preparation for the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Most people think the $2 bill shows the signing day, but it's actually the prep work before the official signing. All right, enough nerdy stuff. Let me show you what the back plate number is and why it's there. Essentially, that small number at the back bottom right hand side of the bill is an internal number for BEP employees to see where the bill is located on the printing plate. Now that number can matter in certain situations based upon its size, but on this bill it does not matter. What really matters is on the front of this bill. You will notice a big mistake happens. Now if you didn't know, during the printing process, the back of the bill is the first print, the front of the bill is the second print, and the third and final print is what you see here that is doubled, called the overprint. Now the overprint here is the last printing, and every time the serial number gets punched down, the little mechanical serial number will rotate and come down again. That is why, if you notice very closely, the end of the serial number has a different number. The last three digits are 650 and 654. Pretty cool, right? One disclaimer, this note is highly altered, and by that I mean people will see a video like this and think they can just put a bill like this in their printer and duplicate this error to try to scam people. That is why getting your bill graded by a company like PMG or PCGS is highly important to make sure you are not getting scammed. So please be very well aware of that. Because of this very rare error, it sold for $11,750. All right, here's a genuine 1869 $2 bill that sold for $79,312.50. Now this is one of my favorite types of series from the large size bills. This is what we call the rainbow note. As you can see by the beautiful colorations on the bill, they call it the rainbow because you have all of these colorful security features. You have the blue paper and blue security fibers on the left hand side of the bill. Then across the top you have a green floral design, and on the right hand side you have a very large red seal. Now the combination of the blue, the green, and the red is why collectors call this the rainbow note. Now the rainbow series comes in $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, etc., and they can be very, very pricey. Now when it comes to grading, 70 is the highest grade you can get, and this bill got the 68, which is only 2 points away from the perfect grade of 70. That is a huge contributing factor as to why this bill sold for $79,312.50. $35,250 for this 1976 $2 bill. I'll be brief on this one, but before I talk about it, I did promise you that I would tell you what I would do if I was selling one of these rare bills. So the first thing I would do is I'd find 3 reputable coin or currency experts and get their opinions, see what they say. Make sure you do your own homework and research before bringing it to them. However, understand that these guys are experts. They do this full time. That is their livelihood, and most dealers are not going to set you in the wrong direction. Now, if you want to sell it quickly and just get cash, what we recommend is going right to a coin or currency shop. You will make a little less money, but what we don't recommend is going to a pawn shop. Pawn shop owners have a very large range of knowledge with a lot of different items, but to have a true understanding about coins and currency, you need an expert that specializes. Not only that, I've heard some horror stories of pawn shop owners really ripping people off, so highly recommend do not go to a pawn shop. Another option you have is eBay. Now eBay has a buyer and seller protection, so you are relatively protected as long as you follow the proper steps. If you do want to learn more about coins and currency, we have a free ebook down below. You can pick that up. But on this bill, the biggest reason why it sold for $35,250 is because of the serial number and the high grade. So it's a serial number 1. It is one of the hardest serial numbers to get your hands on, and it is a star note. So it is a replacement note for a damaged or error bill. Guys, $35,250. It's a lot of money for a $2 bill. We do hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure to get your free coin and currency ebook down below, and we will see you in the next video.